it's the same. I don't think you think
No, they will not be bothered about your HR jargon. No,
maybe clearly focus on how my development happens. What do I need to do so that my year one is successful? And tell me how your company has made 5 years journey for your if the target company has engaged with I've been through, I'm all the baby ants like Jammu, Amritsar, Trichy and all. So they're 20 lakhs. So tell me what new we want. So the target audience is different aspirations. Usually I don't be at home and Sundays. So now I'm just a random jargon and all.
Construction, architecture, planning.
Like, for me, it's like 2 months only.
Different where we are carrying ourselves. I'm comfortable.
Please have something. So, one is most likely we have Raj already. For the jobs in 6 months.
So I also got to meet with delegates because I just switched my industry. So last 15-17 years I've been in IT. It's a single Accenture. There's the one industry I'm currently working in, construction industry or domain. Otherwise, I don't know ABCD of that, but at least I get to meet the peers group. Honestly, those
A very good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, faculty members, students and all the audience present here. So a very warm welcome to all of you to Nitte School of Architecture, Planning and Design. We are indeed finding this an honor that you have been able to grace us. Whom we have here today on the panel are stalwarts in the HR industry for architecture, planning, design and construction. It is indeed a great opportunity for all our students to hear the valuable insights about their career ladder, future prospects in this particular industry from some of the great accomplished guests, distinguished guests that we have here today. Thank you so much, sir, for coming today. And I'm not going to take too much of your time because I want you to listen to all of them and we're going to invite all of them here to share their valuable thoughts. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now I would request Associate Director ma'am to give them gifts. Kumar. And Mr. Devasis Panigrahi from Shriram Properties. Mr. Murali Venkatesh from Prestige Groups. And Mr. Hemant Kumar, Casagrande Builders. As we start with this event, I would first like to introduce our first panelist, Mr. Devasis Panigrahi. Mr. Devasis comes with 20 plus years of rich experience in diversified section with core in their real estate. He is currently working as Chief Human Resource Officer in Shriram Properties and Limited, and his earlier stint was with Tata Realty, Imami Purvankar, RMZ Corp. He is highly experienced in collaborating with the board and governing committees, CXO, top global management consultant, HR tech platforms, and employees on contemporary HR practices for real estate, IT technology, funding, and manufacturing-based organization. He is certified subject matter expert in data business excellence, framework with hands-on assessment experience, mentor, panel speaker, and guest faculty for Top Business Institute. It is my honor to introduce him, and I would request him to please address the gathering.
Thank you for having me here. Basically, when we're trying to say in terms of, I think you all are in the best phase of your career where you is required to be in next 20-25 years, what you want to be. I don't know how much of you can pursue the line which you have chosen. Maybe this is a statement which I'm putting in now, but that's I've seen for last 20-23 years basically. But I wish you and will be discussing some element of it, because that is the point of our discussions today, that how to navigate, because when it's a journey, it's not a destination when you're talking about a career. So how can we navigate, what are the drivers of navigations in terms of what we are looking for, how can we reach to that path, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, I would like to call upon Mr. Murali Venkatesh. Mr. Murali Venkatesh, Assistant General Manager, HR from Prestige Groups for the retail sector. He has 20 years of experience as an HR, worked with hospitality, and currently retail. He pursued his MBA in HR and Finance in National Institute of Management, Chennai. So please could you just begin?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting us for this event. All the best. I heard that first year students and the fourth year students, everybody is here. In detailed discussion, we are going to discuss how your career path is going to design, what are the things we are going to learn in this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to introduce our third panelist, Mr. Hemant Kumar. With over 16 years of diversified HR experience across industries, Mr. Hemant Kumar Ravi, Senior Vice President and Group Head of Casagrande Builders, is a strategic and innovative HR head who is on mission to drive people transformation, culture, talent strategy, and deliver amazing people experience at Casagrande Premium Builders Private Limited. For 3,900 plus employees spread across real estate, education, hospitality, and warehousing industries. He and his team has developed over 38 million square feet of prime residential real estate across Chennai, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Coimbatore. Over 40,000 happy families across 140 plus landmark properties stand testimony to his commitment. Mr. Hemant Kumar has an MBA in HR and did his IT from IMT Ghaziabad, engineering from Sikkim Manipal Institute of Technology, and is certified in Scrum, data science and people analytics, servant leadership, and robust data-driven hiring to retire people processes. He has successfully set up HR operations, led HR strategy, and implemented workday reporting capabilities across 54 countries and 1.7 lakh employees, collaborating with consulting firms and global product owners. He has also enabled talent management, development, and engagement initiatives and served as a trusted advisor and expert on people and organizational matters. Now I would request Mr. Hemant Kumar Ravi sir to please share your insights with the gathering.
Thank you. Thanks for hosting me, and thanks for the warm welcome. Too much of verbose about the introduction, but the fact remains that I have joined Casagrande as Senior Vice President for the group of companies. We are into real estate, but beyond that we are into international schools. We are getting into hospitality, hotel industry. We are into warehousing, and plan is to go global, right? So we are expanding to Dubai as a market, right? I just joined 2 months back, so I'll be learning with you guys about real estate and all these roles. I worked in Reliance and L&T in the past, so I think that experience I can resonate and correlate with. I'll be leaning on the leaders who are here from the industry. So thanks for hosting again, and looking forward to candid conversations. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to introduce our fourth panelist, Mr. Nitin Kumar, Associate Vice President Human Resources at Infra Market, is an experienced business HR leader with 16 plus years of deep expertise across the talent management spectrum in driven growth, organization design, cultural transformation, and talent strategy. He finished his bachelor's in commerce from St. Aloysius College, Bangalore, and completed his master's of social work HR from MSW School of Social Work. Through his career, he has had the opportunity to work across the HR functions, be it business partnering, organizational development, talent acquisition, compensation and benefits, etc. He is also a founder trustee of the Imagine Trust since 2013. As a HR professional, professional, he is a genuine influencer that drives people's strategy through leveraging business acumen, empathy, client centricity, and collaboration. This allows for translating into an inclusive, actionable, and value-added outcome across the enterprise. Mr. Nitte Kumar has worked across global technology organizations, both IT services and IT product technology startup that have helped to shape the ability to build human resource practices that require either scale or complexity depending on the business environment. It is my honor to introduce him, and I would request him to please address the gathering.
I think everybody is being asked to, you need to be seated here, you cannot go out from here. That's the backbenchers are like, I think, why is these guys are coming in a code and talking to us? Is it true? Is it true? Because I don't see the Josh. Because when we come in here for a conversation, it's for a reason. Because we have seen the corporate world. I'm sure I think it will become more enriching when it becomes a two-way rather than the one-way. We hope, I think, during the panel discussion, we have more and more questions coming from all of you, which will make us to think and give our perspective based on our experience. Now, I think just to start the conversation, we were thinking, I think, we do not, I am not a hardcore construction guy. I think my experience more being with the tech organizations. But I think the current organization where I work, it's infra market. We are a 8-year-old young organization. We are a startup. We became a unicorn, and we are, you know what, our vision is we want to rebuild the construction material industry through innovation and technology. That's where I think we are spreading towards, and we are one of the startup which is rebuilding or rethinking the entire approach our construction material industry need to be. We are 11,000 CR plus business. We have done it in 7 years. We are creating history in a lot many places. If you ask me, I think we may have a lot of job opportunity in our company because we are coming with a lot many perspective which is new in the entire business sector. But I think if you look at it, I think what's changing? Is it what existed in my generation versus the new generation is going to be changed? Yeah, there are a lot many things have changed for sure. The new perspective has come in. You know, I think our general skill set which is required in any industry, any college students which is going out, the new age of creativity, communication skill which existed earlier too. But I think the problem solving has become one of the key skill set which is being demand and will go more and more. Whether it is people are scared about the AI. I think Sandeep Shastri rightly said during the discussion, it's artificial intelligence. It cannot take away your intelligence. It's all about, I think, we living up to the demand what is required in the industry. Then I think artificial intelligence cannot replace the human intelligence. I think that's where I think we can start the conversation. We look forward for an interactive conversation during the panel discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we'll start the panel discussion. I would request placement cell coordinators, Architect Rohini ma'am and Architect Epsita ma'am to take over.
Thank you, Gayatri. Good morning, all the students. So I think we have had a good introduction about all the eminent dignitaries on the dais. So as many of us, our fourth year students and fifth year students are heading towards leading into the industry. So we would like to know first to all the what would be the pivotal role of architects and planners in the construction industry. Though we know we are the designers and planners, but coming into the construction industry in the present scenario, what would be their role expected and how would they focus to be competitive, to be at par with the evolving global trends?
So, the question, if I it is, what will be the role of an architect in a construction industry? when we talk about architecture, we're actually talking about the aspirations of what it is going to come. It is a product class or asset class, what we say, because it is that visualizations of bringing something ahead. Maybe if you are talking about, if I go back and talk about real estate, what an architect does in terms of a real estate, because the moment when we get a piece of land, maybe whatever the way we are getting it in different structure and method, the role of an architecture comes into picture in situations that what it can be in a particular scenario of asset class, whether it's going to be a residential, whether it's going to be commercial, whether it's going to be retail, whether it's going to be a...
Morning to one and all present here. I'm Gayatri Kricha of the Planning 7SEM and I'll be your host for the day. Welcome esteemed guests and participants to the roundtable discussion titled Career Ladder and Future Prospects in Architecture, Planning and Design Sectors, organized by the Nitte School of Architecture, Planning and Design. This insightful gathering aims to shed light on the evolving landscape of these industries and explore the various opportunities that lie ahead of our professionals in these fields. As we dwell into this engaging dialogue, we will examine the current state of architecture, planning and design sectors, considering factors such as technological advancements, sustainability practices, urban development challenges and emerging trends. Moreover, our esteemed panelists will share their expertise and insights on how individuals can navigate their career paths within these sectors amidst a rapidly changing world. The NSAPD has brought together a diverse group of professionals from different backgrounds, architects, urban planners, interior designers, all with a common goal to foster meaningful discussion that inspire innovation and promote professional growth. By collaborating with industry leaders and experts in this roundtable format, we hope to provide valuable guidance for aspiring individuals seeking to enter or advance within these dynamic fields. We extend our gratitude to each participant for joining with us today as we embark on this journey towards understanding the career ladder and future prospects in architecture, planning and design sectors. Let us engage in thoughtful conversations that will shape the trajectory of our professions while embracing new possibilities for personal success. I would like to call upon our Associate Director Rajni Uttam ma'am to address the gathering.
And this is a question I myself being HR head trying to understand. Each talent, because the moment we say talent acquisition, talent development, talent management, who is a talent? As the company defined. Is it skill? Is it attitude or will? Is it performance? Is it potential? What is that? So you define your core things. Try to create that sweet spot and work on that. That is where it is going to take you higher. The rest, all the things are just noise. Thank you.
I think just adding one line. I think if you think once you join the corporate, they will teach you everything. I think that's a old concept. I think that lives in any organization. Every organization has a simple concept, 7 to 20-10. 70 is the on the job, 20 certification, 10% training. That means you understand, I think organization cannot afford to spend on about the only training you. And the same time, I think they cannot take an agreement that you will work for 10 years, right? So from that perspective, if anybody interested in learning, that's only I who can make a difference. It's my career. Why anybody should be spending time on about doing any intervention which is required, irrespective even of teachers. They are just facilitating. But I think learning is all left to us as individuals.
Thank you, sirs, all of you, for this very insightful as well as very inspirational as well. I think hearing all of you talk. So I think this was a general question which we wanted to open to all our panelists. But I think now our Dipshita ma'am and Rohini ma'am, there are some specific questions. One for each of the panelists, maybe.
Let's make it interactive basically. Yes, you should ask questions, because if I have no questions, then I have issue. Because
Question. The past question asked you have they can ask.
So basically, I'm a 50th student.
Here the question. Yeah, sure.
I'm a 50th student and now it's time for us to search for our internships. Like how Murli sir was saying, when we go for internships and all, we should try to utilize that internship where we can gain more knowledge from that organization or that things. So recently I visited some multiple companies, firms. There were some 3 to 4 big firms. There was a startup firm and there was a firm which was mid. One thing which I got to know from my seniors and passed out interns is, basically when I went for interviews, first thing what big firms did was, they started digging the details related to, first they found out that whether I'm good in softwares or designing, or can I handle both. And one situation where I came was, one firm was ready to give me more stipend and they just wanted to keep me for 3D modeling in their firm. But when it went to a startup firm where I was getting less stipend, but I was getting an opportunity where I can be involved in each and everything of this. Like they would take me to their site visits, they would take me to the project meetings, those things and all. But if I think about a big firm, it has a name, it's a huge ocean, I may get more contacts. During these type of situation, we as a students, what should we think on more? Like the knowledge gaining or the exposure?
I'll just add 2 lines. I think when you are a student, don't go behind money. I think money will not give you learning. If you are getting an opportunity to learn X, Y, Z, irrespective the other organization is giving X or a Y, I think you choose wisely what will make a difference to you. If you are a more skilled person, I'm telling you, once you complete your course, you are into 2 from your valuation perspective. I think that's the way the startup world look at it from every perspective. I think you should choose where there is a learning opportunity, not the money as a cost.
So, if I understand this question basically, particularly for the core functions, when we're trying to look at it in terms of the journey of enrolled, when we say internship is a journey of enrolled, I have come from a perspective which is more of a theory. I'm just trying to get into situations where the organization is going to kind of teach me, or I'm going to learn something out of it. Organizations have their own tools. Basically, see how the ecosystems works. Every organization, when we are going for internship or something, though I can see that like IT and these things, various platforms to get into hackathon and all sort of things, board challenges and all sort of things before even going for internship, so you can show your worth. Internship as an approach, whether it should be 2 months before the internship I should start applying, or I should start from your first or second year. What all it requires to get into as an individual for me to eye for a particular positions. Because if you have not worked on that, then we'll be getting the organizations which is just looking for something to be worked of 5,000 or 10,000 rupees. But if you have positioned yourself well, in the second and third year, or whichever year you position ahead itself well earlier, saying that what are those requirements it may be? Is it a soft skill? Is it some specific tool? Is there things which I can able to learn in some or other way, may not be the master of that? And how can I reach out to them, particularly as a earlier concept? If I go back to some of the things, if I talk about the IIMs and NITs, I have been going for campus for the last almost 10 years to premium schools basically. So they are connected as a student, if I say, irrespective of what the institutions is giving, it's much earlier. At a very customized personal level, they will identify those people or those things from that particular, maybe that's why I'm saying LinkedIn, that's a platform which you can get professionals. They just things, have you approach 10 people who can be your kind of connects to be that I am looking for these things, and have you build that rapport? Because it's like a passive hiring, you are not jumping to Naukri and just searching that I am interested for a job. How do you build the rapport before even 5 months connecting things, and what are those expectations? Don't jump into that I am doing an internship, can you provide? Saying that for an internship, what is the requirement that company is looking for? Just try to understand the larger context in a certain scenario and prepare yourself. Though it is not very mature in terms of, and the government is doing a lot of initiative in terms of that particular skilling platform and trying to keep it mandatory that the academic and industry requirement gaps should be narrowed, and there are various challenges in that side because of a demand and supply. Unlike a European country, we are a country of 140 crore populations. Almost 67% is under the age of 35, or more than 50% is under the age of 25. So we have our own challenges. But as an individual in a hyper competitive scenario and in a situations where I might have spent huge money in my studies, and again, if I'm doing something and I am not getting that reward in terms of what I'm looking for, so that need to be pre-planned. What I'm saying that it is not going to solve everything, but it is going to better your orientations when you are going for an internship to a particular industry or an organization and trying to identify it. So basically be prepared for what you are doing it 5, 6 months, 1 year ahead, and try to go for the tick that this is what I am looking at. This is where these are the 5 people. So just try to work out on those plans and work as a strategy. So don't just jump into it in the end moment because my college is pushing me to get an internship, and then I'm searching here and there. We go to the company which will be giving me, company will be saying I'll go work for free, I'll be giving you a certificate. Don't get into that. It is the worst scenario if you're looking for.
First of all, you have to check what is your vision, what is the purpose of this course, why did you join this course, and what you want to achieve in your life. Okay, focus that, jot down. If that expectation meets, choose that. That's my advice.
First of all, I'll congratulate you for asking the first question. It takes courage. So, big round of applause for that. So that proves that you are above from the crowd, So at least you have opportunities where you have, talent to showcase. You have a big firm with which you can get associated versus a startup company where you get to do end-to-end, right? I had been through similar shoes, 17 years, 8 companies. Some companies I left in 3 months, like Reliance. Some companies I stayed for 4 years, that's my maximum tenure. If you look at your millennial crowd, less than 28, 29 years age group, they want purpose in life. I have strong feeling that they want to have purpose in their life. I'm not sure about it, but I still strongly believe that they want purpose in life. Why I'm joining a company, why I'm doing what I'm doing. I want to do 9 to 6. After that, I want to have my cult fit or whatever, fitness or whatever my aspiration is. So as long as you are enlightened that why I'm doing what I'm doing. And if you guys watch reels, follow Simon Sinek and some other speakers who are industry domain experts, that will add a lot of value than spending 1 hour time again on reels. So coming back to the point, there's no right or wrong situation or answers to your question. At some point of your career, you might want to have a reputation attached to your company. Like, I did that at the start of the career, Cognizant, Wipro, Reliance, L&T, Middle East. Money was one of the key priority once you have to get married, once you have to take care of your elder parents, aging parents. So, there's no one size fit answer to this question. Having said that, always keep that thing that what you want to achieve in longer run. 10 years down the line, you want to be known as an industry expert, knowing things end to end. A lot of big companies now will compartmentalize you. So like say in HR space, they will keep telling you do TA, 20 years. But if you are seeing yourself as 15 years down the line, I want to be the head HR, you need to know all the domain of HR, from hire to retire, total rewards. I'm just giving an example from HR, but if I take example from construction, you need to know architecture, you need to know planning, you need to know designing, you need to know what the ecosystem that is there. So like say Primavera as an application, I used to do 15 years back. Now I see industry is still struggling to have an ERP package that can give me a logistic to supply to inventory management to wherever there is a vendor management. A lot of money is getting leaked out. I'm talking about an industry where I'm entering 2 months old and I'm learning with you guys. So my learning cap is on and I'm going to see that how I can bring that profit margin from 8% to 10%. And to do that, what I can do as in my domain. So if you are looking at your role, see how your purpose is aligned to organization goal. What company wants to achieve and how you are contributing to that. As long as you are sorted with that, rest of the path you will find out. Congratulations, best wishes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, thank you, So we had a question poll and we had a set of questions which we wanted to ask each of you individually, sir. So some specific question to each of you. Shall I start from this side? Yes? Okay. So
Because when you see in a very larger perspective, what I feel that real estate when we're talking about, it is anything between land and air. If you are talking about a 18-hole golf course development, because it's basically you wanted to make a horizontal development or a vertical development in certain scenario. This asset class can be anything. It can be, if you see down the line, if you see many of the schools, can be asset class. Hospital, we are saying from the same asset class perspective industry, because hotel, if you see, that is getting made, but operators are different, developers are different. So when the concept of developer, the concept of a contractor or construction who is doing the things, at both level we are trying to put for that, how do we bring the element of product to the systems. I'm not getting to the technicality of which tools you have to use to have the best efficient of that particular tool in terms of things, but the whole notion of the planning or master planning, if it's a large project, basically in terms of different phases, that has a commercial element, that has an efficiency element, because every state or every locations we are talking about, it is constructed by the bylaws of that particular place, basically, when we're trying to look at. So what an architect can bring, the architect can bring the visualizations of something which is not there in that locations. If we are talking about something, when we're talking about the marvelous buildings or horizontal or these things, it is bringing a concept even before it exists. It's bringing a thought, whether it is a European thought or a basically in line with certain architectural concept which may be there 100 years, 500, 600 years back. How do you bring that to your blend and how do you put it to? Maybe obviously when you are trying to do as a product, basically I'm saying product because everything has a commercial sense when you're talking from a corporate perspective, because you can build Taj Mahal, but can you able to sell it now? That's the fundamental question we are trying to look at. So anything based upon the management orientations, based upon the cost timeline we are trying to look at, and how best you can visualize something in different segments. As I told, larger perspective is horizontal versus vertical, so whichever way you want to do it. And how do you bring those elements to reality? That's what we are going through. We are talking about a concept stage, we are talking about a validation stage, because it has, when we are trying to look at, it has different element of MEP, structural, architectural that need to be combined and then need to be come into a product for a sustainability. So how do we bring those elements to the reality? I think architecture has a very, very high role on that. And I'll be looking for any specific questions if somebody has before giving it to my panel.
I think one perspective I just wanted to add across to the conversation what Debo has already mentioned. If you look at it, I think one of the, we were just talking before the panel discussion, which is the highest contributor toward the GDP. Debo enlightened me telling that it's coming from the construction industry. If you look at it, I think if you are a reader in the budget, where is the maximum budget allocation happens from the central or the state? It's again in the infrastructure. What does that mean? More opportunity from the capital investment, job opportunity, from every angle. I think it will create a new job opportunity, not only you guys, I think it's a multiple job impact which get created. Now it's all left to you guys. How do you want to get into this industry? It's like you look at it, I think 30 years back when tech industry didn't exist. There were no software engineers, right? Because we didn't have that industry. But I think freshers were hired, trained. Now I think it's a multi-billion industry which exists in India. So I think it's a huge opportunity which can be created. It's all about mindset, what we carry out, our learnability, our flexibility, the creative mindset, the requirement which exists in the industry. It's all about we shaping that mindset to contribute towards the making a perfect architect, perfect designer, perfect planner. I don't see anything. There is a dearth of opportunity for the people who want to get into this market. It's all about, I think, me as an individual making that effort to make that happen.
According to me, my point of view is when you are going for an internship, when you are entering into the organization as an intern, you should focus on your creative skills. What is your creativeness, what you have in your mind. You have to give your 100% so that there is high chances of observability of the where you are doing the internship. Okay, that's your stepping stone. You have to utilize it for the maximum. That is what as an architecture.
I have questions from the audience. How many of you are doing architecture program? Raise your hand. Majority of you, awesome. How many of you guys are using ChatGPT? That's exactly the percentage. It's roughly around 10% or even 5 to 7%. Go to ChatGPT, understand what exactly architecture mean. When I say that, I mean in international market. So right now I'll tell you, I just joined this company 2 months back. We are struggling with understanding the mindset. If I have this kind of question in a PGDM kind of program, or if I ask this question in a BTech, IT, electronics, communication, and computer science branch guys, they will be much more sophisticated. And all of you guys in the row number 3, 4 are using mobiles. See those guys, 10 of them. See the focus, awareness. We are investing our time, it doesn't come for free. Each hour that I spend is 5,000 rupees. So better that we utilize, We are not here to do any kind of pomp and show, right? So our time, your time is valuable, guys. So first understand the importance of the role that you are doing, what is the industry doing, what is the expectation from you, and are you guys just driven by purpose or just for the heck of doing things? So if you are really concerned about your career, because you are competing against 1 crore students passing out each year in Indian industry. The salary has not changed in the last 20 years. I graduated into 5 engineering at 3.15 salary. Still we pay the same salary, and a lot of guys are available in market. So it's a clear-cut demand-supply mismatch. Focus on your career. All these reels, Instagram, all those things you can do throughout your life. No, seriously I'm saying, and I'm going to be very candid, and it pains me that, what kind of focus millennials have. They want a star, moon, everything on their platter, but they're not ready to, slog their life. It doesn't happen just like that, right? So focus what do you want in your life. No one will spoon feed you. If you guys have parents who are like a multimillionaire, great for you. If you don't have, buckle up, lace your shoes and run. It's your life, your journey, your aspiration. Okay, rest all is just behind. So first, coming back to architecture, understand what exactly ChatGPT says about the industry in architecture. It's about bringing dreams to reality. Okay, so you should have aspiration that, I'm really contributing to this company. It doesn't matter if I'm starting as a fresher or a 10-year work-ex guy or a 20-year work-ex guy. I have a vision, I have a conviction, I have a purpose to solve. The rest all will fall in places.
I'll just add to this point basically. If I say, if I ask you to raise your hand and say, who are the top 3 architectural firm in the world? I don't know how many hand will be raised. You are all in the same discipline. But if you don't know who are the top 3 architectural firm in the world and how they have become top 3, or if I say what is my constructions, which basically maybe you can get into many other things also, and I started with, because I see almost a significant percentage of the people from architectural or civil background getting into the other field. That is a very different topic of core versus non-core, which generally I used to go. Last week I was giving a virtual lecture to XLRI, basically for their MBA student in terms of their executive MBA student, and the topic was individual excellence versus team orientations. The fundamental question what we have to ask is that for me to be successful at the end of the day, I'm in a very hyper competitive world. maybe by choice, by compulsion, whatever way it is, I have choose this path to be in the early part of my career. And I have another 25, 30, 35, God knows, maybe now there is no retirement based upon the way you are, how you are designing things. What is that excites you? When we're talking about creativeness, many people have seen in architectural also or civil also, they have come based upon the pure, maybe they have seen somewhere else and then they have come to a particular field. Some people are pretty excited to the things which they know why they have come, they know what they have to do. If they have to go for masters, they have to go for something which is getting into the commercial side of that. Certain visibility is there in terms of that. If you have not asked the questions to yourself that what is that I am here for, what is that I am going to do over a period of time, and why I have to do what I am thinking of doing. Because every 5 years my thought changes. Because at the end of the day we are in a hyper connected world and we sometimes get excited with the CTC. Somebody will be getting it as a part of your IT stream friend and other things. Even in IT, when I used to be in IT, maybe that was a time where you can spell the name of Java and you are getting 3 lakhs rupees. Now can you get? Because everything is a demand supply. You say SAP, you say Oracle, people will take you from the road itself. Come work for my company. So has this system been the same when we're trying to look at? So when we're making a journey, when we're making a mapping, nobody knows where we can go for in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. But do I have an aspirations to grow? Do I have an aspirations to, or am I asking a question to myself? Where is the answer? Do I know all the answer? Is the answer coming from somebody who has traveled the path? Can I go connect there in LinkedIn? Can I connect them? There are many people who will be helping you out. I don't mind if you come back and say that, sir, this is the issue what I have, this is the issue I have. Can you help me out in terms of how I need to navigate? I have a career choice difficulties. Can you help me as a mentor? There are various platforms. If you are interested for that, you can get it. But if you are not interested and if you are just saying that, no, I have come to something, I really don't know, I'll be struggling with those 2-3 companies will be coming to campus and they have their own tantrum of whatever the things maybe. Many of the time the JD itself is not clear. The moment you go join the company, something will have changed. There are both side issues. As an individual, and that's what I was just telling 10 minutes before, and this is the things which I always recall. Maybe at the end of the day, you need to ask that, how do I plan? Because when an organization says,
as an HR head, what non-technical skills would you prioritize when seeking an architect or planner to join your team?
Awesome. So I'll come to this. Competencies. How many of you understand competency? Heard of this word competency? Anyone? No one? Awesome. Knowledge, skill, attributes. Anyone? No one. Good, yeah. Please tell. No answer is right or wrong. At least you had a courage. Please speak up. Be loud enough. I think you guys are younger. So what is knowledge? What is skill? What is attribute?
So knowledge is something which you have like about things like, for example, as an architect, you have a knowledge about buildings, methods of constructions and everything, design and everything. And skill is something which you develop over time, and attribute is something which is used to measure your skill and knowledge, I think. I'm not sure.
Awesome. The big round of applause again. What's your name? Which year you are in?
I'm in first sem, BR.
First sem. Amazing. Okay, so good take on the answer. Knowledge is what you learn in your college. Okay, so that's like, I'm a BTech, whatever degree and whatever specialization I'm specialized in. So you can learn that, you can go to Google, learn that thing. Everyone can talk about everything by learning, Skill skill is application of that knowledge. So how well you do that job during your internship so that you are deployable from day one, you are productive from day one in the company, so that's where my productivity goes up. You bring your reputation of the college, your alumnus reputation, and hence we start interacting with the college more, we start hiring more, because that guy is giving me ROI from first month. If I am paying you salary X, I am expecting 8 times of that ROI as a company. Pure play math. As long as you are doing that value add, you are there in the company. The moment it is not there is a problem. Okay? Because I will replace that with 2 more fresher or a mid-year experience, 4 to 5 years, and can get the job done. So your ROI has to be, calculated. So coming back to the knowledge skill, knowledge is something you learn. The skill is how you apply that thing. Attribute is how well, smilingly, gesturally, you make this thing happen. So while I'm giving a boring lecture, you guys might fall asleep and you'll say, it's better to be on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. The moment I interact with you guys, make you guys awakened, do something to engage you, that's the attitude, that's the attribute. How well, like say a chef, he knows what to cook because he studied that as a hotel management degree. He has been able to cook great cake. So that's his skill because he has learned that art by 5-7 years of experience. How well he's serving his customer, how is his hospitality and all those stuff, that's the attribute. Understood the difference? Now where did we start? Okay, so we start about technical versus non-technical. They call it soft skills, behavioral skills, stuff like that. Do a Google. LinkedIn, how many of you guys are on LinkedIn? Just 8 out of 60 or 35. See, 60. So 60 में 8. What is the percentage quickly? 8 out of 60 is what percentage is? 12.5. 6 is 10%. 2 is 3.33%. So 13.33%. You need to know your math here. Okay, so either you are good at math, or you are good technically, or you know your domain, and then remains is behavioral, right? Now behavioral aspect, why it is important? No, because if you go to LinkedIn, 1 billion users, unique users are there. How many? 1 billion. What is the world's population? 7 billion employees, right? Population, correct? So 1 billion is there, unique user, and they are products. In my mind, they are product, your shelf life, 20 year, 30 year, whatever work ex you are going to do, be very reasonable in the market, be fresh, be agile so that people can pick you up. Okay, now question was behavioral skill. If you go to World Economic Forum or World Skill Forum, behavioral skills is the key. What your technical skill will do, your first 0 to 9 years of experience, technical will be touted for. You are gunning for that, technically I'm how sound, I'll get the salary for that, right? So say Java J2E or for say AI, my work ex is 5 years, I'll get 20 lakh salary. So 2 to 3 years, 3 times of your experience is the salary you can command up to 8 to 9 years. Post that, it's about how well you can get the work done from your employees. You start becoming people manager, you start becoming the leaders in the company. You are supposed to have integrity, critical thinking, leadership skills, stuff like that. So that will take you there, because after 9 years, more or less everyone has same technical expertise. All of us will have same understanding of how HR functions. What differentiates us is how you adapt to people, how you get the work done together, how you bring people together, So that is important. In fact, how cross-functionally we get the work done. The struggle that I'm having in my company is planning guy is shouting on his thing here, I had planned, I had done this thing, that thing, but the delivery guy is saying I'm not able to sell because my inventory is not ready. That side architecture will be falling, that landscaping is not happening at the rate we had quoted. Everyone is in their own thing, like elephant in the room, someone is touching the the rope, which is the back tail, someone is on. So people don't have the cumulative understanding of the big picture. Hence, in my mind, I think behavioral skill is important. First, hone your technical skill. So get into the journey of 0 to 5 years, 0 to 9 years, and then do parallelly understand 20% at least behavioral, that how to deal with people, their emotions, sentiment, empathy. I can be critical to you, 2-3 times I will bash you and then you'll say, I don't want to hear from this guy. So I have to, blend my speaking in a manner that, I'm getting accepted by you. So culture change, assimilation, those are the core values. And those 10 skills, go and Google search power skills. You will know that thing. Those are the 10, 15 skills that you need, collaboration and all, right? So that's right.
Thank you so much, sir. So I think students, you understand, apart from the technical skills or knowledge that you gain, also the soft skills, transferable skills, life skills, these are very important for you to succeed in the real world out there. So thank you, sir, for your insight. Now my next question to you, sir, is how do you think a company should foster a work environment that promotes a healthy work-life balance and also maybe minimize stress for employees?
People have different takes. People choose a company because of the balance. If you see the work-life balance is there, if the security, people go for a security, people go for a challenge. People choose a company because of I am looking for a challenging environment, so I choose this company. Some people choose for a balance. I have to balance my work-life balance, so I choose this work-life balance as well. That's my take that I want to do. Okay. Likewise, we have 5 different categories. Okay. Security, work-life balance. We have environment. What kind of environment I want to work. For me, the work-life balance is very, very important because it's not end of the life. Work is not end of the life. You have family also has to be there. So you have to choose work-life balance, balanced environment where you can contribute on both the sides. Because the working maximum, you work 40 years. After your education, all those things, from there, if you completed your education on 21 years, after that you worked at 60. What are you going to do the rest of the life? Right? That's important. So, I see the work-life balance as important.
Thank you, sir. So once again, students, this is also important for us to understand because especially stress management in today's time is an important part of your growth towards holistic living. So and it also helps you to perform better at the workplace. So this is very important. You must understand the importance of work-life balance. Thank you, sir. So now my question to you. So what kind of career opportunities for architects and planners do you find in domestic as well as international markets? So are there any specific paths or programs in place to support professionals looking to expand their careers on a global scale?
Thank you, ma'am. So, what Shemant was putting basically in line with when we were talking about a KSA model of competency and then getting into what is proficiency 1, proficiency 2, proficiency 3 or beginner, intermediate or expert in that. Because when you're talking about a combination, how it is done in terms of an organization scenario, suppose there is a role of an architect. So this is the role which is looking for something in the organization. Because it's nothing to do with whether Devasis will work or somebody else will work. It has nothing to do with the person. The roles require certain kind of activity to be completed as a whole part of the structure, have its own element of where it is positions, how is the ecosystems. So the success factor of the role is certain competency or certain, maybe I can say, you can say to make it more generalized, certain skill set which is required, technical skill set and behavioral skill set to make it more easier what I'm trying to put forth in a competency framework situations. What will it make the rules? Because when we say architect, from an architectural firm, that's what I started with the questions. How many of you know who is the top 3 architect globally? Or maybe top 3 architect who have done wonders in India, maybe they are top 3, top 5. Or maybe who are the people who are working. If I put you the names, I don't know how much you will know after working, kind of studying. So your market knowledge, because if I am going to be a design developer sitting in an architectural firm with those tools, is it different than being with a developer and doing design management? It's more of a design coordination. Because my role as from a designer is mostly not to develop the design but to ensure the design, which is an element of my entire product, is coming on time as per the standards, whichever the bylaws is there in terms of that, having an element. And when I say design is a career path, it can go to your structural design, or it can go to MVP design, it can go to your other aspects. So choosing a career path, when we say that whether it is a pan-India level or a international level, depend upon the combination of how have you developed yourself based upon those competency which is required. Because if I go to a architectural firm, my ability to foresee something as a creativity, as a skill set, though it is on the things, my ability to manage a tool and team to produce the demand of a client. So my success factor is depend upon certain competency which is to produce the quality element based upon a client, positioning them and try to, it's more of a, what I can say, it's more of a skill set which talks about development, which talks about communications, which talks about closure things in terms of certain things. Because it's not just about the architectural aspect of it, the associated aspects which goes to architecture. If you want to be successful in a kind of a constructions or real estate things, because that's what I can say, that needs your ability to coordinate, because you may be having multiple consultant at some point in time, maybe as a peer, maybe as a core, maybe as your MVP consultant, maybe your structural consultant, maybe your landscaping consultant. There are various consultants who will be working on different phases. And how do you work as a program manager or a project manager to get the things delivered? So your skill as a program manager, because it's not your core of design development, but the core of design management is coming into picture. So whether you work for any sector in terms of the constructions or in terms of the design institutions, basically, at the end of the day you have to ask yourself that both sectors have money. I'm not putting that money or CTC or designations as a center stage. I'm just trying to say what excites you. Many of the people have not been very successful coming from a architectural design development background to a design management background. Many of the people want to go back. So there is basically based upon your situations, your requirement, your things of how you want to get into, because design manager in a real estate company is working with another 5 people, whether from an execution perspective or from a contract management, or because this is a cohesive systems. If you go to architectural things, they have 10 different clients, 10 different requirements. So their ability to kind of create based upon client requirement the different scenario altogether. So it is an individual call of how you are preparing yourself to get into the notions of positionings. If you are looking at international things, it is both the element of your design and the soft skill or the leadership skill, because at the end of the day when you look at a career framework, it moves from an individual contributor, team lead, managing stakeholder is the last thing basically. And when I'm saying stakeholder, it is internal stakeholder at the first level, second thing is the internal external stakeholder, then bringing those expertise. So any career leadership framework for any role, whether it is architectural, whether it is civil, whether it is HR, whether it is marketing, anything goes from the perspective from an individual contributor to a subject expert to a stakeholder manager at different level. And so that journey you need to find out where you positions in a situations of a development organizations or a management organizations, and that's what I think one need to put forward.
Thank you very much, sir, for the insightful comments on this. My typical question for you is, what are the evolving trends in the construction industry right now? Our architects and planners should be ready to fit into the roles.
See, I said in the beginning, look at the investment data, entire infrastructure industry. It's not going down at all. I think there is a more and more investment happening when it comes to the entire infrastructure industry. It's everywhere. I think from the governmental project to the private sector. I think our friend Murli was just talking about the Prestige as a company. And he was talking about the 9 malls are getting built in just in another 2 to 3 years. I was asking him that, is so many people going to the malls that I think we are building so many. But I think the vision or the construction industry set across anticipating, because that's a planning. I think if you look at it, I think the construction project in Bangalore, it's not coming down. I think maybe the exception was COVID time period where I think everybody halted their construction because of the supply chain related matter, or even I think demand was not there. But I think we are back to the boom which existed in the top cities, whether in India or whether it is globally. So from that perspective, the changing trend is infrastructure sector is just going to grow. That's all. I think it's not going to come down. From that perspective, I think what's the opportunity for career architect? Because I think that's a pillar, that's a backbone of the entire construction industry itself. So I think it's going to create more opportunities. I want to touch one element which I think Murali has already spoken about, the work-life balance. I think it's a fictitious thing called work-life balance. It's a fictitious. It's how I take it. So I think I'm an early bird to offices. I'm in office .8. That's my life. I leave the line. But I try to leave office at 5:30 for any number of reasons. In my previous organization, I used to leave at 3 also. It's all about the arrangement what you can have it. Does that mean I'm an unproductive employee? No. It should be looked at it how productive I am in office. I take hardly coffee break, gossip break, lunch break, sutta break, n number of breaks which I think people can take it when it comes to their work environment. I'm sure I think all 4 of us will agree on that perspective. It's about productive hours what you spend in office or wherever you are working. That's more important rather than looking at it your work-life balance concept. Right now, there was a lot of uproar happened when I think Mr. NRN talked about certain hours youngsters should be working. Then I think it became a big topic of discussion in social media. I think why people should be working more, people should become focused on wellness. All fair. I don't think anybody. But I think what he was trying to say, younger generation should work hard to build the nation. I think that's what I think he was trying to communicate it. So from that perspective, the future of construction, it's all left to us. How the future generation which is coming to the workforce can shape the innovation, the shape how the industry need to move towards, rather than depending what others have built it as of now. I think that's where the trends will evolve for the future. But of course, I think there is a lot of thought process on the AI going to make a lot of difference. I follow Twitter, so I have seen, I think there is a latest Twitter trend is on Pradeep. They are telling, I think there is the photographers. That business is going to be killed because there is a AI command which will generate your photo. Now, does that mean I think all the photographer's job is gone? No. It's just that I think it's a new skill set which is created. I'm sure I think it will be utilized in that industry. So from that perspective, I'm sure that a lot of your AI skill set which is coming in, which will evolve entire architecture or designers, right? It's going to make it amazing. It will optimize it. It will make your life easy. I think that's one evolving space for sure. It will make your life simple. It will make you more productive. From that perspective, I think all of us have spoken about it. I think how skilled you are, I think that will make you difference. From that perspective, core competency which is already taught to you in our colleges or Pradeep, what is construction, what is built and what is architecture, what is design. Is that enough? Maybe I think future, when you're passing out, you should be knowing how to use AI. I think Hemant asked how many people know ChatGPT. Okay, few hands up. How many people are in LinkedIn? Okay, again 10% less. So from that perspective, that's a future. If you really want to build your career more than the what's happening in the industry, I think you need to move up the ladder on the what's happening in the overall industry trend itself, not just necessarily what's happening in the construction industry.
Thank you very much, sir. So, after listening to all the dignitaries, I'm sure all of you know that all of you need to be updated about what's happening around you. So what is the kind of technology that's happening? What are the kind of soft skills that are happening? What is the construction materials that are coming up? Every now and then our industry is vast. All of you would agree to that. Every 3 months, every 6 months, there are some new construction industry, which all of us need to keep us updated on that. I will go over to Gayatri. I think she also has one question. And I also have a question regarding technology, evolving trends. This is a common question. So if anyone would like to address to that. In terms of technology, where is the construction industry heading to? Anything new? We have been seeing, technology and other things. But anything new which the construction industry is picking up on? So anybody would like to enlighten?
I think my past experience only with the technology company. I think when I was interviewing for Infra Market, I had an interview opportunity with my CTO. I asked him, why are we building technology? I think, why are you not purchasing technology? What I meant over there, ERP is already available or software which is already built. You know what is his answer? He said, Nitin, I think there is no solution which is required for our industry available in the market. So from that perspective, we need to build everything from scratch with the vision the company has it already, the kind of a organization what we build in. Because I think if you look at it, I think construction as it's a very old age industry, and even I think thinking we have not moved ahead so faster that I think what's happening with the technology companies evolved, or I think it is not moved ahead. I think Hemant just talked about it under the ERP as a solution. Everybody still struggle with the kind of ERP which is required for a construction material or construction industry for a reason, because I don't think there is so much investment has happened over there, the kind of a technology. But I think my organization, I think we invested, we have a 300 plus technocrats building the future technology solution for our company to make it a show we are more and more efficient, because we all know more productivity come in when I think we start applying and using technology in our workplace. I think you look at any industry, I think food industry, have you even imagined, I think food can be ordered through app? Nobody. I think we all knew, I think we used to order food through phone number to our neighborhood restaurant. But I think that's gone away. I think it's coming because of the technology. We are able to order food through Swiggy. So I'm sure I think more and more revolution happen even in the construction industry, where technology will become a viable, just because that's the only way out of getting more and more optimization in the industry.
Yeah, thank you. So for me, when I'm saying technology, basically when we're talking about technology,
Mr. Devasis Panigrahi, Chief Human Resource Officer, Sriram Properties. Mr. Murali Venkat, Assistant General Manager, HR Prestige Groups. Mr. Hemant Kumar, Senior Vice President, Group and Group Head of Casagrande Builders. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of this HR Conclave, I want to express my deepest gratitude to all of you for your active participation and insightful contributions. The discussions and interactions over the past few hours have truly been enriching, and I believe we all have gained valuable knowledge and perspectives that will shape the future of human resource in our respective organizations. I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed guest speakers, panelists, and moderators for sharing their expertise and experiences. Your thought-provoking insights have provided us with a deeper understanding of evolving landscape of HR practices and strategies. As we leave this conclave, let us carry forward the spirit of collaboration and innovation that has been the hallmark of our discussion. Let's continue to build strong networks, foster inclusive workplaces, and champion the development of our most valuable asset, our people. Thank you once again for being a part of this incredible conclave. I look forward to our continued collaboration and positive impact we will create in the field of human resource. Thank you so much, sir. So now we would like to escort you back to
question to ask from you. If anybody can raise their hand, and what is the basic understanding? Are we talking about the IT or the system perspective which is getting into the construction? Because for me, if I'm talking about a shear wall construction, and I'm sure being architecture, being kind of civil background, so I'm talking about aluminum homework, and that getting into the constructions, which is improving my slab cycle from 21 days to 10 days time. Is that not a technology? So if I'm using robo sand compared to natural sand, is that not a technology which has been looked upon from a chemical strength perspective? So when we are talking about technology, when we are talking about the things, every technology is an enabler to the system, because technology only does two things: either it makes the system efficient or effective from a larger perspective. Every employer or every company will be looking from a cost perspective. So when your slab cycle can be done in a 12 days situation on an average, though they say 10 days, and these things getting into a Maiwan structure, what we say, or a aluminium formwork structure, when we say, what is it resultant to? Because developer or whoever is the things can raise the bill to the customer rather than 25 days in 12 days time. So construction methodology, construction technology, or when we are talking about any systems which drives, whether it is a kind of a automation systems or a robotic process automation systems or a artificial intelligence or machine intelligence driven systems, because these are all layers, because which is adding on to improve the efficiency or effectiveness. Because ultimately there is a interest group which will be talking about how do I maximize the efficiency of a process or efficiency of people or efficiency of the system itself. Technology will definitely be going to play a major role, because everything at the end of the day driven by commercial sense. And if somebody who is a promoter, somebody who is created an organization for profit, the ultimate motto is that definitely it is going to take the help of something which is making them more profitable, either top line oriented or bottom line oriented. So in that specific situations, what is my role? How do I, because is it going to be man versus machine? I don't think so, because when we have Twitter, we have all these things, still people are reading newspaper. When we are talking about a automation car and Tesla and these things, still people are using cycle, right? So it is always a cohesion, it's basically and, it's not or. It is man and machine. It is human approach, which is basically care, connect, communicate, delegate. That aspect from the domain of functionality which I am bringing, along with the enabler. And technology is the enabler. It cannot do anything beyond enabling functions, basically. Because if you are saying that it will do surgery, okay, it will do surgery. It may take out many of the roles. Who knows whether HR role itself will be there or not? Because if I'm talking about the talent acquisitions, maybe 60-70% role, I don't think so that is required. If I talk about my inductions, there are various things, and that will go to almost all functions. Why only HR? Why only civil? Why only architect? It will go to legal. It will go to medical. It will go to journalism, because you are talking about creating an algorithm, creating a process, and getting it access through that process, basically. But what is anything which is repetitive? Sorry, okay, thank you. So I'm just saying that anything which is repetitive, anything which is manual is going to be automated. There is no second thought to it. Anything which is creative, anything which has a higher value creation purpose, I think that's the human value which we are talking about. That is going to connect, and for that you will be hired. So, thank you.
Just one question. Any one of you can answer it very briefly because they're waiting for the lunch. I want to know, like, it's all insight from the institute or company's end. Our students, all the young generation, when they're joining the companies, they go with the mindset, like, okay, let's join the company, and already their CV is already floating in another 10 companies. They want that name or the brand to be added to their CV. They don't have that stable foot in one particular company. They don't want to stay there for 3 years, 4 years, grow, for whatever reason we can say. They're also floating, I would say. So just briefly, if any one of you can answer for their mindset, advice on their mindset.
Okay, so if I have understood the question correctly, you're saying after 2 to 3 years people are switching job, right? That's the concern? After 2 to 3 years people are switching jobs. 6 months, yeah. Okay. So we call that thing as infant mortality rate. Less than 6 months, less than 2 years, people losing jobs. So I joined 2 months back. I did that understanding about my company. So 40% of our employees have joined in last 1 year. In Bangalore, 90% of employees have joined in last 1 year. Okay. So that was the main data point. Then I looked at my attrition data. Less than 6 months, either people leave, most of the crowd, that's the heat map, or 2 to 3 years. The moment you have crossed that period, it's like 7 years of marriage. After that, you are living with the devil. You know the person and you are living with the person, right? So then we understand and getting into the deep-rooted discussion, why that happens, right? All of you, when you join, typically the millennial average tenure in the company is max 18 to 24 months. Why? Because first you guys will be under pressure to get the first job cracking. The classical question that, should I go for brand, should I go for role, should I go for location, should I go for my partner who is in that particular company? You don't know, your girlfriend, boyfriend, all those kind of stuff will come into picture. So point here is, understand why you joined the company, try to join the company for the culture and the role, if given a choice. Okay. Beggars can't be choosers, so that's another problem. So demand supply mismatch. So understand why you are joining a company, join the company for the role, then compensation comes, right? After 2 years of experience, you are quite productive in the market, and that's the execution team. They do the job. Rest all are managers like us, 15 years, 20 years, dinosaur in the company. Okay, so they will get work done through you guys. So obviously your demand in the market, the salary that you can command, your peer group is already switching companies. So you'll have a peer pressure. That my guy is, another friend is getting 10 lakhs, I'm only sitting at 6 lakhs, whatever number you're quoting at, right? So point here is, stay invested in the role, in the company. If you're switching, switch for the right reason. Before switching, do an honest, candid conversation with your mentor, ideally in the company, else outside, and understand pros and cons of switching company, right? Stability matters, and a typical cycle I see is first year is the learning curve, second year you give the ROI to the role, third year you make your role redundant and move to another role. Corporate journey is a jungle. It's not like, us while we used to say, how's the hierarchy? In fact, that was a question given to me. Executive, senior executive, assistant manager, deputy manager, manager, senior manager. That's a, ladder. It doesn't work like this. You will switch across role. Millennials will switch around 7 career jobs, so different kind of job profiles. Like I switched 7 industries in last 17 years, right? So point here is, be experimental, but know where we are heading to. That's the only thing, okay? And switch for the reason, good reason, not only for salary all the time. Thanks for hosting us all.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your beautiful insights, sir. Now, I would request our head of the department, Architect Bindu Malhotra ma'am, to facilitate the rest.
Very easily, when you are actually the opportunity for experience. So that's where, to get into any organization, even though you're getting roles in a specific thing, getting to a different, there will be a lot of internal opportunities which will come up where you can always get in.
pertaining to how the digital world is changing and how it will impact the HR domain. And it is really well organized event. I can see the enthusiasm of all the kids over here. It's fantastic. I wish them all the best, and I hope they get released very soon. And whatever little we can help, we can guide. I'm always there and to guide them and help them as always. Thank you.
Hi guys, good afternoon. My name is Ashton. I'm working as the account manager with Global Blue Source. We are a talent acquisition firm, and this event that NITE has hosted is a really amazing, wonderful event. We got an opportunity to connect with all the HR heads. The students have been doing an amazing job. It's a heads up to the college and the efforts they have been taking in this. I hope you